Hello, friends. Welcome back. I am so happy to see you today. And I am also very glad that you decided to join me. Okay, so we are going to start today's lesson with an activity. How about if you pause the video and identify at least four verbs from this group of words? Okay? So once again, just pause the video, 1, 2 minutes, and all I'm asking is for four verbs. Okay? Good. Okay, were you able to identify four verbs? Well, there are way more than four. And let's go ahead and look at a couple of them. So I have here the word snore. Yeah, that is a verb. That's right. When you are sleeping and you're making those snoring sounds. That is a verb. Very good. What about wiggle? Yes, wiggle is a verb. Is a verb. That's right. And let's go ahead and look at another one. Oh, this is one of my favorite ones. Yeah, I do like jump, but I was actually looking or going down to dance. That's right. It's all the way down here, and I'm not going to move my cursor because otherwise I cover it. But I love that verb, dance. Do you like dancing? Oh, I'm sure you do. Okay, so this brings us to our lesson. Yes. So today we are going to look at the simple past tense. Now, we've done this before. Uh, so today we are just going to look at it just from a different angle. Yes, we are going to look at regular verbs. That's right. And that brings us to our clear learning target. I can recognize and write verbs using the past tense ed. I can talk and write about what happened yesterday. So when the verb when we add an ed, is the suffix ed to a verb. I don't know if you remember when we were doing suffixes. Then those are regular verbs. That's right. So that's what we are going to be working on today. How about if we read those learning targets together? Are you ready? Let's go. 1, 2, 3. I can write, I can recognize and write verbs using the past tense ed. I can talk and write about what happened yesterday. Okay, good job. So, when do we use the past simple tense? Just stop the video here and just think about that for a second. When do we use it? Okay, yes. We use the past simple tense when we talk about completed actions in the past. That's right. So they happened in the past. Not only that, but they're also totally completed. It was just at that specific time, place in time that that action happened. So it was not a continuous thing. It was not something that kept going until it stopped. No, it just happened that one time. Okay? Okay, so let's look at it in more detail. Okay, so there is something that we need to recap or review, and is to we should remember that there are two categories of verbs in the English language and in some other languages as well. Okay, so we have the regular verbs and the irregular verbs, right? So the reason that they are called, and the ones that we're going to be looking at today are the regular verbs, and the reason that they are called regular verbs is because they all get the suffix ed at the end, right? So all of every one of the regular verbs end with the suffix ed. Sometimes the E is there, sometimes it is not. Okay, so and that is what we are going to look at right now. So, how is the simple past form? Let's go ahead and look at this also. So, what I need you to do is just pause the video for a second. I want you to look at this question, analyze it, and then put something on the chat telling me how is the simple past form. Okay? Okay, let's stop it there for a second. Okay, friends. So, um, we have good news. And the good news is that the simple past in English is easy, especially if we're using regular verbs. It's a very easy tense to form. So the simple past regular verb is extremely easy, like I just mentioned. Why is that so? Well, because all we need to do is make sure that our verb has the suffix ed at the end. That's it. Okay? So let's go ahead and look at this for a second. So to form the simple past, right? How do we do that? So we turn regular verbs to the past by simply adding the ed at the end. That's it. That's what I just said. That's why it's so simple, so easy. Now, the difficult part is to recognize the regular verbs. There's no other way. You probably just need to know them, okay? And yeah, you get to know them as the time passes and as you acquire new words in add new words to your vocabulary bank, okay? So, but let's go ahead and look at some of the rules, okay? That's what we are just going to go ahead and do right now. Okay, before we do that, let's go ahead and look at these examples right here. So, call, ski, regret, plan, all of these are regular verbs. That's right. They're all regular verbs. So, how do they become past tense? Or how do I convert them into the past tense? Well, I just put an ed to my call and it is cold. And I just add an ed to my ski and it's skied. Uh, Now look at this, just a little bit different, right? Yeah. So I had to double my T, and now instead of regret, I have regretted. And I also have to double my N, and instead of plan, I have planned. There are some rules for that, not for all of them, but for some of them. Okay, so that you know when to double up the last consonant. Okay, so time to practice. Rewrite each regular verb in the past tense by doing what you need to do. Okay, so talk. What do we need to do to the word talk or the verb talk to put it into past? Yep, that's it. Just add the ed and now we have talked. So how about we practice? Let's go. Talk, talked. Okay. Now the second one is wait. What should I do to the word wait to turn it into a past tense? Yep, just add the ed. That's right. And now we have waited. Let's go ahead and do it together. Let's say wait, waited. Very good. How about the word yell? Yeah, what do I need to do? You got it. We just need to add ed. So we have yell, yelled. Yep, let's practice. Let's go. Yell, yelled. Okay. How about for the word start? Ed, that's it. Started. That's right. So let's do it. Let's say start, started. What is start? Begin, right? Beginning. Yes. What about to the word paint? What should I do to that one? Okay, friends, you are awesome. Painted. That's right. Just add the ed. So let's go ahead and practice it one more time. Let's go. Paint, painted. Very good. Okay, now here is where things change just a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and just remember simply add ed, right? Yes. Good job. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and look at this. Okay, so there are some rules, some things that are a little bit different. So we have the Y rule. So regular verbs ending in a Y. Now we have two different types of rules for this, okay? So if the verb ends with a Y preceded by a vowel, simply add ed. So how many vowels do we have in the English language? Yeah, we have five. Well, sometimes the Y is a vowel as well. So if the Y is preceded, that means that in front of that Y there is another vowel, then that we're just going to be adding an ed at the end. Okay, so let's look at some examples. Okay, so we have the word pay. So you see we have the vowel A, I have it right there in blue, and the consonant Y. So in order for me to make that into a past tense, all I need to do is add ed, paid. So remember, I have a consonant, vowel, Y, right? So I have to have a vowel and a Y, and then I only need to add an ed, okay? So we have now the word enjoy, right? So again, I have here a vowel, the vowel O, and the consonant Y, right? So all I need to do is do what? You got it. All I need to do is add the suffix ed to my word, and I have enjoyed. Let's look at the last example that I have, and I have pray. And if you notice again, I have my vowel E in front of the Y. Sorry, I will not be moving that anytime soon so that we can see it. Okay, so there we go. So we have the vowel E in blue preceding yeah, right before the Y, right? So what do we need to do to form the past tense? You got it, friends. We only have to add the suffix ed, and now we have prayed. That's right. So as you notice, once again, let's recap this. If I have the consonant, the Y, preceded by a vowel, then all I need to do is add the suffix ed at the end of my verb to form the past tense. Now, let's look at another one, okay? So here we go. Okay, let's practice. Always good to practice. So we're going to rewrite each of these regular verbs into the past tense. So we have the word annoy. What do we have right in front of the Y? That's right, we have the vowel O. So what are we going to do in order to convert this or form the past tense of the word verb annoy? We're just going to add ed. That's right. Now we have annoyed. Let's go ahead and practice the pronunciation. Annoy, annoyed. That's good. So just take a couple of minutes to do the other ones, and then we'll come back and we will go ahead and practice them together. Okay? Just pause the video. Okay, so were you able to complete it? Oh, I'm sure you were. Nothing easier, right? So we have the word pray, and we add the ed, and now we have prayed. Let's practice. Pray, prayed. We have the word stay, stayed. Yes. Replay, replayed. That's right. Now this one has a prefix and a suffix, doesn't it? Yeah. Deploy, deployed. Very good. Friends, we're going to look at the second rule for the Y, okay? So if our Y is preceded by a consonant, then I need to drop the Y and add IED. Okay, so this is just a little more complicated, right? So let me repeat that again. If my Y is preceded by a consonant, then I need to drop the Y and convert that into an add the IED. So let's look at some examples so that it can make sense. Okay, so for example, fry, right? So we fry potatoes, we fry plantains, we fry chicken, right? So fry. So if you notice, in front of my Y, there is another consonant, right? The consonant R is in blue. So now, in order for me to create or form the past tense, I have to eliminate my Y and put instead an I. So now I have fried with an I, right? Let's practice the pronunciation. Fry, fried. Good. Now we have the word study. That's what we're doing right now, right? So what am I going to do to that Y? That's right. I'm going to take it away from there. And now I'm going to add an I instead. And I have studied. Okay. So let's go. Study, studied. Yes. How about identify? We do this all the time, don't we? So I have the consonant F in front of the Y. So I'm going to drop my Y and I'm simply going to add IED, right? Identified. Let's go. Identify, identified. Okay, let's go ahead and practice like we always do. So what I need you to do is take a look at the following words, okay? Pause the video and form the past tense with them, okay? So remember, pause the video and form the past tense. Okay, well, let's see how we did. So the first one that we have is occupy. Now, what is in front of the Y? That's right. We have the consonant P, right? So because it's a consonant, we are going to do what? Yes, we are going to drop the Y and we are going to actually add IED. That's right. So now we have occupied. Let's go ahead and do it together. Let's say occupy, occupied. Okay, so next we have the word dry, and in front of our Y we have the consonant R. That's right. So that means that we are, yes, dropping the Y and adding an IED, dried. Okay. Next, we have the word supply. What do I have in front of that Y? The consonant L. So we are going to drop the Y and add IED. That's right. Now we have supplied. Carry. We're going, what do we have in front of the Y? Yeah, we have the R. So we're going to drop the Y and add IED. So now we have carried. And the verb empty, we're going to again drop the Y and add IED. And we have emptied. Emptied. Okay. So just remember, okay? If the verb ends with a Y preceded by a vowel, simply add ed, like in the word play, played. Yes. If the verb ends with a Y preceded by a consonant, drop the Y and add IED, like in the word cry. We're going to take away the Y and we're going to add IED, and we have now cried. Very good. So for survey, we have surveyed, right? And for modify, we have modified by dropping the Y. Remember, because we have a consonant in front of the Y, we need to erase that Y and add IED. Okay, friends, I think that we're doing good. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the E rule, okay? So regular verbs ending with an E, all we need to do is, if the regular verbs end with an E, we're only going to add a D. That's right, that's it. So let's look at some examples like capture. You see, it ends with an E, so captured. Yes. Or create, right? We're only adding the D, and now we have created. Yes, this one is an easy. Face, faced. That's right. So if the verb ends, the regular verbs ends with an E, all we need to do is add a D at the end of the word. Okay, so time to practice. So please rewrite each regular verb in the past tense. So just stop the video and create or form the past tense with these verbs, okay? Okay. Okay, so all of them end with an E, right? So what are we doing to them? Yeah, just adding a D. That's right. So examine, examined. Introduce, introduced. Manage, managed. Observe, observed. Separate, separated. Okay. Okay. So just remember, if the verb ends with an E, just add a D, right? This brings us to our individual practice. That's it. We have arrived at the end. I know it was quite fast. So remember, go to Canvas or Google Classroom, upload or download the activity that is posted there. And once you are finished, just put it up again, upload it to Canvas or Google Classroom so that we have an opportunity to evaluate our lesson. See how we all did with this. Okay? Okay. With that, we have arrived at the end. I want to thank you for joining me one more time, and I will see you pretty soon again. Have a great day.